A while back, I had built a low-tech aquascape for my father, who at the time was going through some health problems. The tank looked like this, and it really helped my father during his healing time. As of a few weeks ago though, the tank started to look pretty sad and pretty old, so I decided it was time for a refresh. So in today's video, I want to share with you how I was able to change this tank from a basic, simple island style composition into a hardscape heavy, impactful aquascape that both my father and his friends will enjoy for a long time. Now, because of some trips that I went on and vacation time, I wasn't able to film this part of me talking about the tank until a few weeks after I set the tank up. So I'm just gonna talk over the video and share with you what I did. Now, I knew this rescape was gonna take a while, so I didn't wanna put the livestock in right away after I was finished with it. So I gathered all of the livestock, the shrimp and the fish, all into a bucket and brought them home and put them in my 45U Iwagumi, which is no longer an Iwagumi anymore. If you're curious about that, go check out last week's video. But anyway, I grabbed all the fish and shrimp, got them in a bucket, and began the rescape. Once all the fish and shrimp were out of the tank, it was time to get cracking on the removing of the hardscape and the plants. The first step was to remove the spiderwood piece that was completely buried in the dense plant growth. Once the spiderwood was out, it was time to start pulling the plants out. And once that was complete, just like any rescape, I couldn't see anything. So it was time for the first water change. I got the water change started and proceeded to siphon out all the sand foreground at the same time. This was being siphoned out into a 5-gallon bucket that I would later be able to rinse and reuse the sand. Once the teardown was complete, it was time to remove the hard water stains on the glass and make sure the tank looked nice and clean again. I think at this point I was already like an hour and a half into the rescape. It was taking way longer than I originally had thought it would. So I was able to take a short little break and plan out my next move of what I wanted to do next. First things first was to add the new fresh aqua soil. And if you've followed my channel for more than 5 minutes, you'll know that I love UNS Contra Soil. I highly recommend this aqua soil. I've been using it for years now, and I don't imagine using anything else anytime soon. If you want to get your hands on this aqua soil for yourself, you can use the affiliate link down in the description below, and at no extra cost to you, by using that link, you'll be directly supporting this channel. Anyway, now that the aqua soil was in, it was time to add the hardscape. And for the hardscape of this build, I was super excited because I was using Black Mountain Cereus stone. Now this Cereus stone is significantly darker than your typical Cereus stone, which enhances those white veins. I love this stone so much, and so I knew I had to use it in this scape. Once the hardscape was in, it was time to get the plants prepared and ready to be planted. As for the plant list of this setup, I ended up going with very easy and simple plants because it's a low-tech system. There's no CO2 being injected, so I didn't want to put any advanced plants in the system. For the plants, I chose Bucephalandra belindae, Hygrophila pinnatifida, Monte Carlo, Sterogyne repens, and Hydrocotyle tripartita. Now when it came to planting the hydrocotyle, I had a fun little plan that I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but I wanted to try it anyway. I'd seen a photo on the internet of someone doing this and I figured I'd try it myself, but I wanted the hydrocotyle to grow immersed on the back section of the tank where the filter connects to it. That way it would hide it and also give this overgrown cascading vine look on the back wall. After some brainstorming on how I could pull this off, I was able to grab some Dua Terra tape and lay it over the back section of the filter chamber. That way both ends of the tape were sticking into the water and it would absorb through that. Then I planted the hydrocotyle on top of that tape and sprayed it down with tap water. Now, fast forward a couple of weeks, and after a few mishaps with some hardscape collapsing and a lot of plant melt, the tank just kind of looked so-so. It didn't look great, but it didn't look horrible. The Sterogyne repens had completely melted off. I think there were only 1 or 2 plants left that didn't die, which was a huge bummer, but I knew I could put any other plant in the background and it would look just fine. Along with the Sterogyne repens, the Monte Carlo really lifted up out of the soil, which was a huge bummer and required a lot of work to replant and trim down low. But I know with a lot of work and a lot of dedication of keeping it trimmed nice and low, it will eventually carpet. And it's a low-tech system, so the name of the game is patience. Having been a few weeks though, this is what the tank looks like now. And I have to say, I'm blown away at how well the Hydrocotyle tripartita has taken to that immersed growth look. I think it's by far my favorite part of the tank. Now, since I can't be there every day to check on the tank, I've got my dad spraying the hydrocotyl down with tap water twice a week, and that'll help the hydrocotyl to really grow lush, full, and beautifully. So unfortunately, this tank has not had the easiest road to glory, but I think it's on track to be there soon. I know it's gonna take a lot of work, but it's getting there. I can feel it. It's still looking nice. And overall, I think it looks really good. I'll be posting updates on this tank over on Instagram and my community page here on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me there as well. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and help me out in the summer algorithm and leave a comment down below what your favorite part of this scape is. Thank you again for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.